And for the winners of the 2023 Hattiesburg Super Regional, the Tennessee Volunteers, we have Coach Tony Vitello, third baseman Zane Denton, and starting pitcher Drew Beam. Coach, if you'll just kind of give an opening statement just to get things started.
Probably three things come to mind. The first thing is the guy to the right of me. I mentioned it in the outfield. There's so much you want to say, but everyone is kind of acting a fool, so I just jump in on that. But we were a little short last year from going to the World Series. And the thing that was missing in my mind and was very painful for me the rest of the summer, I can handle a loss. The other coaches can handle a loss. It was an epic year, but it was a weird weekend, and this guy never had the ball in his hand. And this was certainly a strange weekend as well. But seeing him out there throwing and just knowing, we met as coaches today, and I told them all when we were done, you want to know why I'm fine with no matter what happens tonight is we get to see him throw. Then the other thing was, I wish we could have done this in Knoxville in front of our fans because they've meant a lot to us. But it's a challenge to win in the postseason, and we had to go do it on the road. No one wants to hear it, but there's a lot of difficult circumstances this group overcome, and I'm proud of it. And then the third thing is just Coach Barry. So if it's us or whoever wins a national championship, we'll throw a party in Knoxville, or congrats to whoever else it is. But that's the definition of a champion, that guy. You can ask anyone that's played for him, anyone that's been around him, and anyone that's competed against him. So the game's losing a good one, but he left his mark. There's no question.
I will open it up for questions.
Drew, as Tony just said, your role was pretty diminished by the postseason last year. Just how hard was that for you as a competitor, and what did the night mean to you?
Yeah, obviously, I wanted the ball in my hands, but I had some struggles at the end of last year. Didn't take care of my body the way I needed to. We emphasized that this year. Q helped me out with that a lot. And this year when I had the ball in my hand, had the chance to throw, I was going to go take it as I could, and gave my all for him.
Tony, you talked a lot in the fall and in the preseason about the #2 ranking, not really being sure how good this team was going to end up being. How good do you know this team can be now, and when did you really start to feel that way?
Yeah, I think there was a surge of confidence in different parts of the year, and it came in segments. And to be honest with you, it came yesterday, even though we lost the first game or the continuation part. So it's come in segments, and to revisit that team meeting, I always try and be honest with you guys. You got a job to do just like we do, and I'm not trying to undersell the team. We were not the #2 team in the country in February and March. But the comment was we very well could be that team, and obviously you'd like to be one better. And I hope these guys don't punch me, but I don't think we're that either yet. But the whole idea was understand this group could be, kind of carve our own way out by being a team that consistently makes progress and figures things out. And that's what they've done. And it's been a challenge. And about halfway through the year, they took ownership of the team, the players that is, and they've continued to push forward. And they got room to continue to do that.
Drew, second week in a row, it looks like you've been in total control out there of the game. What was working well for you tonight, and how difficult was it for you during the rain delays and the delays to, I guess, did that affect your preparation at all on the game day?
What worked well for me tonight, curveball was spinning good, had the changeup, had the command of the pitches early. We worked work counts differently, worked guys backwards. Coach A had a great pitching plan going into the game, so we knew how to attack all the hitters. Figured out the first 2 days, getting to watch that helps out a lot. So we just had a good game plan, and then the rain delays really didn't affect. I was just ready to get the ball in my hands, so just sat around, just waited for that call, and waited for the time that we were going to start, and I was excited when we got the chance to go.
Is this the first time you've ever thrown under the lights? For us?
First time this season, it was last year. First, actual real night game, because SEC tournament against Kentucky, I guess. But it was dust.
Sorry. Your stepbrothers.
Fair enough.
How about we interview you? Sorry. Yeah.
Tony, Chase obviously showed a lot of emotion after getting out of that first inning. He was on the mound. Can you just talk about that moment and then also what he's meant to the team out of the bullpen?
Yeah, it was incredible. The moment before it was pretty special. It's, you got to have a lot of conversations in the dugout. He's at 100 pitches. I don't want to speak for them. I'd like to think they don't want us to take him out of the game. That's one way to think of it. But he's also earned the right to take ownership of the game. So we sent him back out, 2 Sinai singles, and he gave me the stiff arm, but he doesn't throw 100 like Burnsy. So we took him out, and that Combs deal, man, was incredible. It was incredible. First of all, it gave us time to get Chase hot because we wanted, Chase came to the park saying he could get us 3 to 6 outs. And he threw for us last night, so we wanted him to finish the game, basically come in maybe the middle of the 8th and finish the thing. But you could see things starting to develop. I couldn't find Burns. If he was here, you'd be able to ask him where he was. But I couldn't find him because I saw Dickerson coming up in the lineup. And I shook his hand out there. That I love our players, but that guy is a butt kicker. To keep it PG-13. He's a special guy. I hope they remember him forever around here, and they might get to watch him on TV in the big leagues. So with him coming up, I thought that was going to be a swing moment in the game, so why not go to the big dog right there? And that emotion he shows is reminiscent of what took place earlier on an SEC weekend for us, and it helped swing this whole season. It gave the guys a rallying point. It gave other teams something to fear at the end of the game. And he did it again, and it was pretty special. And it lifted our guys and gave our guys confidence that we had ownership of the game. Sorry, I sound like Tom Izzo. A lot fewer wins than that guy, but you sound like him.
Tony, with all the adversity you've discussed, where does this season rank amongst the most gratifying of your career?
That's tough. We're still going. So you really don't get a chance as an assistant. It was so much more fun. You can act wild or more wild and, play games in your head. And we got to be responsible for what the next step is. And there's still season to go. So I think it's not an unfinished tale. But there's a lot of stuff that's gone on. Started literally, again, losing's part of this deal. That's what we signed up for. You win some and you lose some, as they say. So, the end of last year was painful, but immediately, like a few hours after our season was over, a very challenging period in our program just started. A lot of different things. And to be sitting on the stage, advancing it's very memorable. Tough to put into words, I guess. Maybe Zane could say something because he's been sitting over there.
Yeah, Tony and Alex, if you guys want to weigh in on this too, what about just the weekend, the delays, not knowing late last night yet what the game time would be when I assume you're trying to figure out how you're going to deal with the day? How challenging was all that for all you guys?
Sorry. It was definitely pretty challenging, but it kind of goes with the theme of our whole team this year. Just we want that adversity. We want to we feel like a lot of things have gone against us all year, but just battling through it together, getting better each day, and we'll find ourselves where we want to be at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. We didn't know when we were going to play. Most of us were sitting up there watching that Stanford and Texas game, just knowing at the end of that we figured out when we were going to play. So, we really didn't have an answer until late, but we were just excited. Most of us were, itching to get it back out there. Wish we could have played again last night. It's not ideal, but everyone was just ready to get out here and play another game. That's just how the vibes were with some of the guys. So that's how we felt.
It's good. We've had some conversations again. I said it to the team, but I appreciate greatly everybody that was a part of that team last year. Guys like Trey Lipscomb, and I could go on and on. They help have one of the most memorable college seasons ever, most talked about. And then they also help these guys learn some lessons. And when you advance to Hoover and beyond, you're still playing baseball, but there's other games you have to play. And that's one of them, is managing time and itineraries and things like that. And I think these guys, having learned those lessons, helped us get through. You're already playing a hell of a team, but then there's other stuff that goes on, and there's some friendly things being said at the stands at all of us. There's a lot to take on, but that's part of the deal. And you have to win a bunch of battles, not just the ones that are on the field.
Coach, at the end, you mentioned it at the beginning, but at the end, when your team's celebrating and Scott Berry just starts walking towards the outfield, your team turned around and applauded him. That was a pretty special moment. Can you talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, it's hard. You have to celebrate, and then you catch yourself, and then you want to celebrate more, and then you catch yourself. And we talked about a phrase last night about really good competition. Again, part of me wants to see, I want to see Dickerson play more baseball. But my loyalty's with these guys, and of course I'm excited. So it's kind of a tough deal. But again, you sign up for tough stuff with this whole deal. So when the pain subsides with a little bit of time and they reflect on the season they had, again, to me, that guy this year and other years is one that everybody needs to look to. And the coaching part's real good, but the person part's way better. And so any other team would have done it. And the fans and the players, of course, appreciate him too. His family came over and congratulated all of us as coaches. I mean, that shows you. That's what we try and do, is recruit guys that come from really good families. And, he's got his family that's blood relatives, but he's got a big-ass family, if I can say that. There was a lot worse said tonight, probably by our players too, is back and forth, and it's, again, part of the deal. But he's got a big-ass family, and, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I hope it's because he felt like it was, the best time for him and not because things are starting to get a little crazy. But not my place to speak for him, just my spot to applaud him and try and imitate him. You got no chance, but try and imitate him. He's a lot more of a man's man than I am, I think.
All right, final two questions right here.
Yeah, for Zane and Drew, how have you guys seen Tony adapt and adjust to coaching you guys this year? And I guess he's kind of been guardrails through those kind of adverse moments throughout the season.
You can lead us off, Zane.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's one of the reasons I came here. I wanted to play for him just for playing against him last year and talking to a bunch of the guys about him, just how he teaches us life lessons along with baseball. But he also gives us a lot of freedom to take ownership of our team and do what we want to.
Yeah, I'll continue off of that. I mean, he's more than a coach for us. He's a friend to us. He's a adult figure to us. He's always there for us, always having fun with us. You can talk to him about anything. It's just he creates a good atmosphere to be in, and that's what guys love to come to Tennessee and play in. And so just having him around the field, having him cutting up with us, it makes it fun to play. And there's a reason we all play baseball, is because we had fun playing it when we were little, and we just love to play it. And so playing for a coach who loves it just as much as you do just makes it that much more enjoyable.
Zane, two-part question for you. First, if you could walk us through your bat in the fifth inning where you hit the home run, and then I think now you have 5 hits in the NCAA tournament, 4 home runs. Can you ever kind of remember a stretch like that in your career?
So that bat, I was just trying to get a good pitch to hit, just like any at bat, and worked a 2-0 count and had a pretty good feeling I was going to get a heater. So just tried to cheat to it a little bit. Luckily, I got it in the air and went far enough. But no, I can't really remember a stretch like that. I'd like to mix in a couple of hits too, but it's working right now, so
we'll take it.
Yeah, take it.
Coach Vitello, Zane, Drew, what a great weekend, what a great tournament. Congratulations to you guys. Best of luck in Omaha, and thank you guys for your time. This concludes our press conference here in Hattiesburg.